Hello and welcome to another edition of the Meeples and Miniatures Miniature Review Show. I'm Neil Shook. On today's show we're going to be looking at a couple of MDF buildings from a relatively new company, Original Laser Design. We're going to be looking at two buildings. First off we have the Viking A-frame house, and then we have, well, it's what is described on the website as the posh Viking house. Both of these kits are described on the packaging as being easy builds, although as you can see the packaging is slightly tongue-in-cheek and not exactly PC when describing how easy it is to put the models together. So let's have a look at what you get in the packaging. This is the Viking A-frame house, a single sheet of 2mm MDF. All the parts are clearly labelled and there are some simple instructions on how to put the whole thing together. The Viking house comes on 3 sheets of 2mm MDF and again contains a simple single sheet with instructions on how to build the kit. One quite nice touch is that on both kits, on the, for want of a better phrase, the wrong side, the non-etch side of the MDF, everything is held together with masking tape, which basically prevents the MDF pieces from falling out of the frame, which can be a common issue on MDF sheets. It kind of just basically just keeps everything together. Now, as I say, this is masking tape, so it peels off very easily, but it basically just keeps everything in place until you're ready to actually construct your particular building. So let's have a look at the finished models. First off we have the Viking A-frame house. The kit complexity is really easy. Build time for this particular kit is about 15 to 20 minutes. Let's take a quick look around it. What I've done, I've used a 28mm Crusader Miniatures Norman next to the building just to give a sense of scale, and as you can see it all fits together really well. The one thing that is obviously different from the initial packaging is the roofing. In the packaging it's shown with I think it's teddy bear fur on the roof, but this isn't provided in the final kit, so you're gonna have to find your own method for adding thatch to the roof for this particular model. Another slight quibble is the fact that actually, as you can see, the sides of this particular model are just slightly too long, probably no more than 4 or 5mm, but it's certainly enough that when the model is fully constructed the base is actually off the floor, so potentially not the best for a freestanding model. I must admit, in this particular instance, what I do is I would put this building onto a scenic base and I'd mask all that off with judicious use of modelling clay, filler or what have you. If you wanted a freestanding model, it's not ideal. So, minor quibble with this particular kit. Moving on to the Viking house. Again, you can see the whole thing goes together pretty easily, and yeah, it looks really good. And the build time for this model is 30 to 45 minutes. It's not particularly complicated. Actually, it all goes together really easily. All the components are really well designed, so there aren't any major gaps, and neither did I have to do any filing in order to make all the parts fit together. And the building went together really easily. In this particular instance, I've left the roof of the building unfixed, so I can lift the roof off to place miniatures inside. And at this particular point, I also haven't attached the porch roof to the main part of the roof. It advises to do this in the build instructions. You'd need to do a little bit of modelling in order to make this happen, as once the porch is constructed, the edges of the porch don't fit flush to the roof, so you'd either have to sand those down in order to make them flat, or you'd have to attach the porch to the roof using some modelling putty. Now, Original Laser Design have a growing range of products, and these can be found on the website. It includes It includes 28mm ranges of Dark Age, Roman, there's a fantasy building, some Wild West scenery, and even a couple of World War II landing craft actually in 28mm. They also have several 15mm World War II buildings. And one of the most striking things they do is this ready-made, fully constructed Viking longship, which comes with its own carry case. I mean, it looks a bit like a wine carrier when it's all put together. That is a really nice model. Okay, so that was a couple of MDF buildings from Original Laser Design. Thanks for watching this edition of the Meeples and Miniatures Miniature Review. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, why not consider helping to support the show on Patreon? You can find the link in the video description. Until next time, happy gaming, and we'll catch up again soon.